Hi, this is Ron Davis. On behalf of the National Burglar and Fire Alarm Association, we are sitting here with one of the true icons in the alarm industry.
Or in my mind.
Or in your mind, Ralph Sevinor, who is the owner and president of Wayne Alarm in Lynn, Massachusetts, which is right outside Boston. Did I get that correctly?
You did.
Tell us a little bit about your company, how long you've been in it, and where you are today.
Sure. Well, actually, Ron, I started in junior high school. My parents' house was broken into. This is, I think, late 1960s. House was broken into, and I saw what a tragedy it was, how it affected my mother, you know, how someone could break in and go through her personal effects and what have you. And I loved electronics, loved electricity. So I thought there had to be a technological solution. And through high school, started the company Wayne Alarm Systems, actually in junior high school. And it evolved from there, went on to school, engineering, and I figured at the end, when I graduated, I wanted to do something that I loved, I enjoyed, and it was the alarm industry. And so it's been pretty interesting. I've been fortunate enough to know some of the call them the old timers of our industry, and some of the new entrants to our industry. So I enjoy it as much now as I did back then.
And what year was back then?
68, 69.
Wow, you've been around for a little while.
You hadn't been born, I don't think, right?
No. I didn't come along till much later.
Right.
much later. And when you started the company, what was your focus? Residential, commercial?
It was actually started out installing an alarm in my parents' house, and then a neighbor's house, and a relative's house, and it started out there, and I really enjoyed it. Saw something positive that we could do for people. Loved electronics, loved, as I said, electrical, and so that's really how it started. And I said, wow, there's something positive we can do for people, plus make money at it. What a great combination.
And speaking of making money, how large is the company today?
We are currently grossing approximately $7 million. We have 84 employees, team members as we call them. We have our own UL-listed FM central station. And what happens is, as an entrepreneur, as a 1, 2, 3 person operation, to take it up, you need quality people. And it's very difficult for an entrepreneur to let go. You let people go as far as you want them to go until they make a mistake, and then you pull back. It's a very difficult situation, but we've been fortunate enough to have some team members. Now I'm working on our second generation, which isn't necessarily my family members. It's people that have been with our company that have really grown up to our company. And I'm excited to see that happen.
Isn't that great? You know, as you look back over the last 40 years, what was the biggest problem or issue you had to face as an entrepreneur, and how did you overcome it?
Getting past the stage that I can do everything best.
Okay. How did you get out of that habit?
What I realized that you can't stay the same. So either A, you have to grow, you have to sell, but you can't stay the same. So I realized that, and at the time there was a metamorphosis of a digital communicator coming. Previous to that, it was either direct wire, McCullough circuits, or tape telephone dialers. So the new technology really, that helped to evolve the whole industry, the digital communicator. And at the time I saw a vision that for us to grow, we had to be full service. We had to monitor, we had to install, we had to service, we had to inspect, we had to sell. And those were pretty much our strong points, as we realized we needed to provide the package. Local, full service. We're not 1,000 miles away, we're right around the corner as something.
Right. And how did you deal with the issue of letting go? Was it overnight, or was it over a period of time?
Letting go. It was letting very capable and good people go, literally, where I thought that I could do a better job than they could, and sometimes that was my misconception. Again, I think it was a realization that to grow, you have to let go. So I just couldn't keep it as a one-person operation. You can only wear so many hats in our business.
And I believe that the hat you're wearing now is what I would call a chairman of the board. I don't know if that's your official title.
It's president, and some people call me the owner. I like to say it owns me, I don't own it. But what I look at now is my job is to help project into the next 2, 5, and 10 years, where we want to be in a few years. And that's my goal. We have very capable people, good sergeants, good generals that can help push us into that to taking care of the customers. My job is to look at new technologies and new entrants, new areas we can go after.
Where do you want to be in the next 10 years?
Where do I want to be? I want to be I want to be a local, regional player that is profitable.
Okay.
That is profitable and providing a positive service to our customers.
But how do you see the company evolving in the next few years? What technologies, what management styles, if any?
Right now, it's interesting because we have this metamorphosis between IT and alarms, and everyone likes to use those buzzwords. But we have, on one hand, we have an alarm system customer that takes a panel that is 25 years old, and you tell a customer, gee, you have to update your panel, and they say, it's only 25 years old. Perfect example is that I have a printer. I got a couple of years ago, I think it was an HP printer, and I needed an ink cartridge. So I went to Staples and I brought down the ink cartridge, and I said, I need a new cartridge. And I gave it to the person there, the salesperson. They looked at it and they're peering, and they said, wow, this is old. So what's old in your mind? They said, oh, this is at least 2 years old. You should consider a new printer, more economical, better use of inks. And so my point is, the reason I bring that up is we have to educate customers that our technology is evolving much quicker than it was. How do we do that? That's the question. That's number one. Number two, as you talk about technology, we don't have a lot of standards established. So we always have to be concerned about legacy products. We install something, and 3 years later, the customer wants support on that. And the computer age is in 6 months, that the cycle is someone sells a modem, and they're saying to you, well, we no longer manufacture this, but we have a new and improved modem. So somewhere those two have to come together. One of the things that we're constantly trying to deal with is the legacy issue, is being able to support that. We're having more and more problems with more and more entrants coming into it, and us trying to look at new technologies only to find out in 6 months it's no longer supported. So we're trying to propel, we're trying to reach out, but yet we're being held back because of the support issues.
In the commercial market, are you in access control, fire,
We are.
CCTV?
We do a lot in the fire side. The fire side is good because it's a code-driven type of situation. And so we do a lot of inspections, a lot of testing. We try to be preemptive on that. We try to convince people of the need of having systems inspected. We're starting to get more and more involved with access control within the central station. So we can remotely, we're trying to take the onus of the updates away from the customer, and typically it's a problem because they always have manpower changes. We're trying to do that remotely at the central station.
What is the single best piece of advice you could give them?
You can't do enough due diligence. What I mean by that is if you want a product, investigate that product. Talk to people that use that product. Visit sites. Go attend meetings. NBFA meetings, fantastic meetings. Where can you get the institutional knowledge? Sure. And it's not just necessarily the meetings, it's also the networking. It's at the bar, it's having dinner. It's priceless. You can't put a price tag on that.
And if you were to give them a piece of advice of what to avoid in going into business, what might that be?
I would be overly cautious about some programs that you have to focus on one particular product.
Dealer programs, you mean?
Yeah, not necessarily dealer programs, more of the franchisee type of programs. I'd be cautious about that because, again, our technology is moving at such a fast rate, we don't want to be left behind. And also, don't be a filter. Get your team involved. Okay. All right? So what happens is, the onus isn't just on me to bring the information back. The onus is on me to bring additional people so they can actually reach out and we can actually come back and make intelligent decisions.
Ralph, I want to thank you for being here and sharing these
Oh,
insights
my pleasure.
with you.
Good to be here.